I'm Madeleine.
And I'm Rikard. We're from Eleine. You're listening to the FANTASM Podcast.
Phantasm.
Maximum terror.
That's your target audience, baby!
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.
Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal!
Phantasm.
Hello, this is Dr. Vincent West, medical doctor with the FANTASM Podcast, and I have the pleasure of speaking with the band Eleine today, and they have a new album called We Shall Remain, and it comes out July 14th, which is awesome, and we're going to be talking about this record. It's killer, Swedish dark symphonic metal. It's really, really good stuff, and I'm happy to be joined here by, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves here. We've got the vocalist and the guitarist, who is looks to be a genius with the work of this record. So if you guys would like to introduce yourself, and we'll get rolling here.
Thank you very much, Vincent. My name is Madeleine, and I am the vocalist.
And I'm Rikard. I am the guitarist, and I'm like kind of the second vocalist.
You can say the second vocalist
Yeah.
for sure. You do a lot of the clean and growls as well. So
Yeah,
I think
all
that's
of the
fair.
male clean.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So this record's incredible. I'm new to the band. Can you guys tell us, before we jump into this great record, just how you guys came to start writing music together, how the band came to be? Because I'm blown away by this record.
Thank you very much, first of all.
Yeah,
Vincent.
first off, thank you so very much, man. That's always great to hear. And okay, long story short, we started in 2014. That's when we founded the band, because Madeleine and I, we had the common goal of creating kick-ass metal, and bada bing, bada boom, we're releasing our fourth album tomorrow.
Yeah, basically that. Yeah.
This record's incredible. When did you guys start the writing process for We Shall Remain?
Well, basically, the previous album, our third one, Dancing in Hell, that was released in November 2020. And by the time, we were still not allowed to tour or whatever because of the pandemic, yeah. So during 2021, we had a tour coming up in the fall. That was a little bit of a spin-off thing. It was an acoustic tour, actually.
Yeah.
So that was set, and we started to work on that, rearranging the songs. And meanwhile, we, started to get a little bit of ideas for new songs.
Yeah, also dipping in here, like what ate up our time in 2021 was to, like, how do we make money now? Because we are full-time musicians.
Sure.
Exactly.
And 2021 is actually when we started to do our Twitch streams.
Exactly. So we had shitloads to do.
I started in April and you started in June.
Yeah. So we had a lot going on in 2021. So we really just started with gathering a few ideas here and there. And then during 2022, we really dived into the songwriting parts here for this album.
Yeah.
And the tricky thing is that the tour I just mentioned, set for the fall 2021, that was postponed because of the pandemic to the fall 2022, which means that when we were finishing up this album, like during the actual songwriting, we were on a 7-week tour all over Europe as well, when we actually did the last parts of the songwriting.
Wow.
So it was really like a clash in the schedule, but we managed. So it was a little bit of a challenge in a way.
A little bit, yeah.
It was good. We actually managed, and we pushed ourselves pretty hard, but we were very happy with the outcome.
Oh, yeah.
This record's incredible. Let's just jump right into it. What can you guys tell us? And feel free, both of you, talk about each song, or one of you, or however you'd like to do it. The opening track, Never Forget. What can you tell us about that track?
Well, Never Forget is just an empowering song from the get-go. You can really sense what is to come from the album when it just thunders on like that. I really, really enjoy that song in that aspect also. And when you look at all of our songs, really, it's about the empowerment, it's about the community and the unity.
It's a great way to kick the record off. And again, my first, impressions of getting to hear the band, and I just wanted more. So track 2, Stand by the Flame.
well, Stand by the Flame, it has actually a sentence that is my favorite of the entire album, and it really summarizes what the song is all about.
Yeah.
It is part in the chorus that says, wearing our pain will stand victorious. It really means that whatever you have been through, it is better if you just accept it and move on from that, you know. You should not push away and try to hide what you have been through. And that is really wearing our pain.
Yeah.
And that is really strong for me, the actual saying, because if you do accept it and you wear it, then you will stand victorious.
Exactly. And that really, like, if you just look back now at Never Forget, the chorus there, watch as I rise, reclaim my life under the darkest of skies, while you're in that moment of that immense thunderous pain.
Incredible. And like I said, this record is so good.
Thank you.
It really is. It's so good. Let's see. So track 3, We Are Legion.
Oh, yeah. Dude, all right. So, long story short here, our fans, they started to call themselves the Eleine Legion.
Okay.
And we were like, hey, that's badass. That's really cool. So they, like, why they call themselves a Legion is because they feel the community and the unity when they gather and just connect. So that is something beautiful that we've seen grow when it really kicked off when we started our Patreon.
Yeah.
And like patreon.com/Eleine, and like from the very lowest tier you can get access to the Discord server, and that's where that started. They started to connect with each other, going to shows with each other, and just like
It's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
They were like cross Atlantic people, like some in North America, some are in Germany, some are in Sweden, Norway. We have like everywhere, and they're just connecting. So
And then flying to each other.
Flying
as
to
well
each
for the
other,
shows.
yeah.
It's insane.
it's
so
it's
beautiful.
crazy.
That's
It's-
great.
It is the thing. It is bringing people together. Like, wow. And we were like, we want to give our fans a song. We want to give our Legion their own song. And when the Chuggy Riff started, when we started creating We Are Legion, Madeleine and I were like, all right, this is something. Yeah, this is it.
This is a song.
Yeah. And we were like, yep, We Are Legion.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's really about like a reminder and a very powerful song that, I mean, if you have a shitty day and you're a fan of Eleine, well, put it on as a reminder of what you have, you know?
You're
and just
never
like,
alone.
yeah, exactly. You're never alone and you got this, you know? And that is why we have this very warlike lyrics in the song as well.
Oh, yeah. I always say from stage, together we are strong, together we are Eleine.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's beautiful. Let's see, track 4, Promise of Apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it is a little bit of a more, it's a heavier one when it comes to the lyrics and what it's all about. And it's really about seeing that life is slipping away from you. That you see that years are just passing and you don't know really what to do. And it's so easy. I will speak from my own experience here, but we really want everyone that is listening to get their own experience of the songs.
Yeah.
But when I speak about the song from my end, I went through a very deep depression. And I saw just years passing by, and I just realized that, well, as we sing in the chorus, you know, I must find new ways to stay alive. And that is it. You gotta break the fucking chains and just see, how can I change this? How can I break the pattern?
Right.
Because if you don't, well, that is a promise of an apocalypse about your life and not the world. That is the thing. Because you are living your life, and that is your entire world, really, because without it, you will not exist.
Right.
And the thing is that it's just so important to see that, okay, I'm living with a pattern here, and it doesn't go very well. So what can I do?
Yeah.
Right.
You need to get to that point yourself because you're creating your own pattern. So it's about the back and forth of really promising your own apocalypse or breaking it.
Yeah. Right. Like a crossroads. That's incredible.
Yeah.
let's see here. Track 5, Blood in Their Eyes.
Blood in Their Eyes. I can tell you this song, like from a playing aspect, it's a fun song to play.
Yeah, and perform.
It's great. Like I said, this record, and this is a great album. Like, I'm an album person. Like, I'm not a track person. So doing this, every track of this is a real treat for me because I just think the whole thing is such a great album.
Thank you.
Very much.
I so appreciate it.
It's like Blood in Their Eyes is really also about the empowerment of it all.
Yeah.
And like when you're buried in so much bullshit and lies and whatnot, because people like they see no truth, for they have blood in their eyes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like it ties it at the end of the song. That is where the actual title comes into play. That people are so blinded, people are so in their own and just like trying to reach that unreachable goal. Everything is perfect, everything is fine, I'm making loads of money, whatnot. And like really just in darkness of life we find the will to fight, we shall arise tonight. Just like live your life.
Right.
Do not be blinded by the bullshit. Just empowerment of it all. Like we come back to that point always, the empowerment and to live life.
And really, it comes down to the thing that we usually talk about, with becoming older, that you care less about what other people might think.
Yeah.
People have to do that. It doesn't say that you have to be disrespectful to other people. That is not the case.
Oh, no.
It is about live your life, be respectful, but you don't have to care what other people might think about your choices all the time. Yeah, it's balance.
Like I can honestly say, like looking at pictures of myself just a couple of years ago, I see the insecurity in my eyes.
Yeah.
Right. And I've worked through shit over the years, and especially the recent years. And it's just so weird. It's eerie to see that person. Like, whoa, that look. I feel it.
Right.
I feel the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's see. Track 6. Is it Vamod? Vamod?
Oh, Vemod.
Yeah, Vemod.
I butchered
Swedish
that
word,
one.
by the way.
Hey, you did good though.
Yeah.
First time Swedish. Very nice.
I tried.
It's great. It's great. So Vemod. All right. It translates kind of to melancholy or angst.
Yeah.
And it's just a transition from Blood in Their Eyes to Through the Mist.
Exactly.
So it's captivating. A little bit of that somber, melancholic feeling.
Very cool. I think that was one of the standout tracks when I first. I've listened to the record twice. I really like that one. I don't know. It just kind of
a little instrumental piece.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of. I went back to it a couple times. Yeah, it was neat. I know it's kind of like a bridge, I guess, between songs, but I thought it was very cool.
Yeah. Very appreciated.
Very much.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Through the Mist, track 7.
Track 7.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, this one, from my end, when we write music, I see everything in images and like video clips.
Right.
And this one for me has really been like, I've seen this part of like in the midst of war, basically.
Yeah.
And it really comes back to the connection with other people, that you're not alone. And that is the empowering feeling that we wanted to have in the song. That really speaks in the chorus. We usually come back to the chorus. Like, from our graves, our spirit shall be marching on. Through the mist, we fought until the dawn, and we saw our rise and fall.
Yeah.
And that is the thing, that no matter what happens in life, you will always have periods of time where you will fall. You can never always succeed. That is the thing. And the faster you can accept and see that, well, the easier you will be able to handle the situations.
Absolutely.
Because you will learn. Yeah, you will learn from each and every experience in your life, whether it's a good or bad one, And as long as you allow yourself to grow from it.
Exactly. And to me, it's like in the beginning of the song there, the lyrics. So when you look at it, that's why we're kind of vague, because we really want people to interpret songs for their own.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah. Of course.
No,
have
no.
their own meaning and whatnot. So this is us, and if you feel something for the song that is that differs from what we're saying here, go for it. If it empowers you, go for it. And the beginning here, when blinded by our fears, as when we stand divided, we will fall. So you can either look at that at like divided, we will fall, and it's gonna be like, oh, mighty,
right.
But really, it's about don't be afraid to reach out.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to, if you're really down there, man, reach out and just grab someone and talk about it, or reach out to someone professional, because that is what I would try to emphasize there with divided, we will fall. If you try to bury yourself day after day after day, and you realize you can't do it by yourself, you will fall, my friend. It is no shame in reaching out.
No, exactly. And that is also why I really like this part. I'm showing it to Rikard here while we'll sit here.
Yeah.
It is in the second verse where I sing, as when we try to rise again, raising our faces towards the sun, tasting our blood, I am proud of us all.
Yeah.
That is really like painting a picture, in the midst of war, like a war scene. But each to their own. Remember, we want you guys to experience this album and the songs yourself. But for me, that is really the connection between all of us. That no matter what happens, I mean, it's a very artsy vibe to say it, But tasting our blood is really, I can feel what I have been through.
Yeah.
I see what I have been through.
Yeah.
So that is tasting the blood.
Taking some knives in the back. And
exactly. And I know that so many of our fans as well knows exactly what we're talking about when we say this, because people can relate. But that is why it's so important for us to sing, I am proud of us all. Because we are.
Right.
And no matter what hell or battle you've been through, we've had our own. And we know that our fans have as well. It's so very important to emphasize these kinds of lyrics, truly.
Absolutely.
Raise your faces towards the sun. It really means to lift your head up. It's not over, Just feel what you have been through, taste that blood, and remember it. But also know that we're very proud of you.
It's amazing. And I love that song. Let's see, track 8, Suffering.
Oh, yeah, that's
a heavy song, my friend.
Yeah.
It's a really heavy song.
That is really, as I mentioned before, I was going through a deep depression, and that song for me is, it really is explaining how to accept what you have been through, but also the lyrics progresses during the actual song. Like you can see at the end, it's not the same chorus lyrics as in the beginning, because it is about accepting what you have been through, coming out on the other side of it,
It's like when you look at the chorus there, like beaten by my own mind, again, falling, I'm tearing myself apart, suffering, calling myself from the other side. I bet many can relate to that, because when you're in that moment, you feel that you're looking at the other you, and you're trying to reach out to yourself, reconnect to yourself.
I have that outside perspective. When I was in that deep hole,
exactly.
Really, I could see what was happening with myself. And I was like, Madeleine, come on, it's not that bad, right?
Right.
But it was impossible.
Yeah.
And that is why we did the variation at the very end of the song with calling myself from the other side, accepted the past. I survived.
Yeah.
Because if you dwell into what has been and you don't allow yourself to accept and move on, never forgetting, but you need to move on.
Wow.
And time doesn't heal all wounds. I just wish that people can stop talking like that, because it won't. You live to learn with the, what is the word?
With the scars?
With the scars, for sure. With the loss, with the grief.
With the grief,
right.
Because depression can be grief as well,
Absolutely.
So you learn to live with it instead. And that is why this song is so important, and the lyrics as well, because you will see the progression from, one of the choruses says, mourning the past, you won't see alive. Because you won't. You will just end up sticking with what has been, you're not moving on. You will just see life passing by, like in Promise of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
But if you accept the past, you can at least give yourself a chance to move on and actually survive.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to try this one. Let's see if I can pronounce this correctly.
Yeah.
Hey.
The German one.
Let's see. Track 9, War das Alles. Ali's? I don't know.
Almost.
It's not easy. I know.
I tripped over it, but I tried.
Yeah.
Hey, you brace yourself. All right. It is. You want to do it, Madeleine?
No, you go for it.
All right. War das alles.
Yeah, I blew
It's
that.
German. Yeah. Das alles.
It's all right. It's all right.
You got the Florida pronunciation of it, which was bad. Great song though. Before I butchered it verbally, but
Thank you.
Thank you. It is also about, how can I say, like some of the other songs, they talk a lot about, accepting the past, move on, and try to learn to live with what you have been through, never forget, and so on. War das alles, it is really about when you're in the middle of it, that it really means that, was this all? Was this everything? And that, this is a song that can really apply to everything from relationships to life itself.
Sure.
So that is why this came to life.
Yeah. Like if you're at the ending of something, like you can ask yourself that question. I bet many can relate. Like, was this it? Was it really everything? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't, my friend.
Exactly.
Right.
So it is an in between thing in that moment. This very song. I feel like this chorus, by the way. Wow, that wall of emotion.
It's very emotional, yeah.
Oh my God, the vast emptiness and the heavy void. I mean, it's.
That is how I've been explaining it for a little bit. That it's like it feels like a void. The chorus.
I'm fangirling of our own song.
It's a great song.
Very humble.
Thank you.
By the way.
Thank you. But I'm like. This is all right, little information, trivia here. This song is the first song and the only song, I believe, that I heavily did with synths in the chorus.
Your synthesizers.
Synthesizers, yeah. So I combined several ones, and that was really fun to do, to create that wall. And the meaning and the power within Madeleine's voice, my God, that was just like the cherry on top and just tied everything together. So it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
incredible.
So again, we want people to just feel the songs themselves. But if there's anyone out there that loves movies like we do, and maybe love war movies like I do, it is the lyric part saying, "Tears in our eyes, nobody knew. We marched at dawn, already doomed." That you really can apply to going out to war. Like it is, it can be your own personal war, but it can also be war in the real world.
Right.
It is very powerful, and that can also be applied to everything from life to relationships and whatnot. It's so this song is more, I don't know if you can say statement, but it's somewhat in the void. There can be an empowering feeling as well.
Definitely.
It was an important song for us.
Definitely.
Incredible. And then let's see the final track of the album, We Shall Remain.
Hey, there we go. So, Madeleine, you usually say something about We Shall Remain.
Yeah, I actually think it was one of the first songs we wrote for the album.
Yeah.
And I really think that it has bits and pieces of the entire album within the song. I don't know how, but it just happened.
Except for My Growls.
Yeah, exactly. But it's more the entire feeling and the lyrics and some of the parts.
Definitely.
So really, if anyone would say that, which track would you say to describe and summarize We Shall Remain? I would say the title track, actually, because I really think that represents everything that has been told within the entire album. And now looking back, it is the great ending of the album, actually.
Oh,
it is it ties everything together.
Ties it all together brilliantly. I feel also it really fits the glove, so to speak. So it's really self-explanatory there. We shall remain. I mean, it is it came so natural. The continuation from our last album, from Dancing in Hell, that was about being in your own personal hell and dealing with that, getting out the other side. And We Shall Remain is about the aftermath. It is about continuing this fight. Because if you forget what you've been through, you're bound to repeat it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I love how we touch upon the more natural instinct thing as well.
Yeah.
The lyric line, "Our will to live floods in our veins."
Yeah.
For me, that is very important to remember.
You got to have that fighting spirit.
Super important.
This record is incredible.
Thank you.
It really is. By the way, even though I haven't listened to it yet, Dancing in Hell may be the best album title I've ever heard in my life. So that's pretty genius. I've got to tell you, I'm going to listen to it. I just haven't had a chance to. But kids, you should pick up Elaine's new We Shall Remain on July 14th from Atomic Fire Records. And this has been an absolute pleasure speaking with both of you. I cannot thank you enough. I know a lot of people, the track by track thing, because they want their audience to interpret it. But thank you for sharing, because it's fun for me, and it just kind of completes the experience for me, and hopefully for our listeners and for your listeners. So
it's fun for us also, man. Let me tell you what, Madeleine and I, we create all music and all lyrics together, and doing this song by song is really for us to rediscover our songs as well. So we appreciate it. Yeah,
it was a pleasure, Vincent. Thank you. And thank you for appreciating it so much.
Thank you.
guys, seriously, let's do this again. This was so much fun. I had a blast talking to you. The record's incredible, and I wish you guys all the best. Are y'all going to be doing a bunch of touring for the record?
Yeah, there will be, and we're working on getting back to North America as well. We were just there in April, May, so
incredible.
Hopefully we can be back soon, and it would be great to meet you out there. So please keep your eyes open.
I would absolutely love to do that. Maybe we do this in person. It would be a lot of fun.
Always nice to meet in person after having such a great chat. So, Vincent, the pleasure was ours, truly.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the hell out of this.
Thank you so much. Please take care now. Okay?
Take care.
Yeah,
bye.
Bye.
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.